What is up, horse racing fans? Welcome to another episode of Urban and Horses. This week we have the Belmont Stakes that kind of carries from Friday through Saturday with a ton of graded stakes races, especially on Saturday with a card full of grade ones and a lot of great racing. However, field sizes are rather small. Weather does not look so good for Friday, maybe even Saturday. Hopefully, it clears up. Um, Hopefully, the field sizes stay about the same. Still great betting races, even if you single some of the heavy favorites and Jack Christopher, Jackie's Warrior, Echo Zulu. There is still money to be made. So I'm going to kick off this video with the Friday card at Belmont Park for June 10th. Um, kind of go through races 7 through 11, give you my top picks and one long shot pick. That kind of wraps up my wagering for this card on how I'm going to structure my pick five tickets, how I'm going to structure some of my exactas or even trifectas with what could be some shorter prices, but still opportunities to make some money. Um, Getting started here with race seven, an allowance race for fillies and mares that are 3 year olds and up. Um, Top pick, and here is going to be Speaks for Itself with Manny Franco and Chad Brown. Um, Horse is one of the lighter race horses in here, coming off a maiden win in an $80,000 maiden special weight back in April at Aqueduct. Posted a pretty decent 83 speed figure. Rather young crop coming in, lighter raced horse out of Malibu Moon. Kind of has all the right pieces for Chad Brown. Gets Manny Franco back aboard, and I think could be a horse that's definitely going to be favored coming into race seven. My second pick, I'm going to the inside. Wearing the Go Dolphin blue for Will Mott, Junior Alvarado aboard is going to be Jane Gray, filly out of Into Mischief. Winner last time out in a $72,000 maiden. Posted an 83 speed figure. Another one that seems to be coming in here off uh, a lighter start or lighter races. Only raced once, so I'm going with those fresher horses that have broken their maidens, that have came off a win to use in any win wagerings. Third pick, I'm going with one horse that's had a lot more experience in Baba for Arad Ortiz. The horse is 18-5 lifetime. So coming in here to this allowance has some Belmont track experience. Is 3-1-1 over the Belmont track. 92 speed figure last time out in a $50,000 conditional. First time gets a Rod Ortiz aboard. Has ran with some other company in here. I think the jockey change to a Rad will help this horse possibly get out to the front. Hopefully, a Rad can get out of the gate early and keep this horse in front for a decent price. And my long shot, I'm going with Fight On Lucy. Um, Overall, the horse has struggled 34, 3, 4 lifetime, but has seemed to hit the money in its past 4 starts. So that's kind of why I'm shifting to this. Gets Jose Lascano aboard. Has ran with some of these others in here, like Rubies in Time and his B Rubies in Time. Um, I just see it as a good price to use as any exactas or a trifectas. Moving on to race 8, this is where we start the stakes action for races 8 through 11, and I believe this should be a pick 4 or the second wave of pick 5. We're going 2 miles on the turf for 4 year olds and up. And this is probably one of the better betting races of the weekend. My top pick in here is going to be a Bane or a Bon, um, a gelding out of Will Take Charge for Todd Pletcher and Luis Saez. Looking back, this horse coming in has done some stakes races, as you can see on the screen, with 2 grade 2s and a grade 1 last time out in the Man of War. in that Man of War, got beat out by Highland Chief, Gufo. I mean, it was a top class race that Abon just really did not show much for, and ended up finishing fifth. Um, However, time back before in the Pan American Grade 2, ran second to Gufo, was the second choice, also beat out Nova Soul, who is in here as well. Just a horse that I think should do well at this distance. Has ran at this distance only one other time and has won at that distance. However, favorably, not really much at Belmont. Second place finish at Belmont, or the fifth place finish last time out at Belmont. Second choice, I'm going with Outbox. This is a Europe shipper coming in for Archie Watson. Holly Doyle gets the mount here. Has been on this horse in all starts, or all these past starts of Outbox, coming in out of a Grade 3 and Grade 2 stakes company, finishing sixth and third in those. Just anytime going a little bit further and on the turf, these Europe shippers seem to adjust well to to the American turf. So definitely one to consider um, in your multi-race wagers. Third pick, I'm going to use Nova Soul. I feel like this horse could be a little higher priced, but looking back, finished seventh in the Dinner Party Grade 2 Stakes, finished third in the Pan American behind Abon and Gufo, who's not in this race, um, but gets back to Arad Ortiz um, with Safi Joseph. I think Arad should set this horse up a little bit better, and kind of where he was in his last outing. So I feel like, hitting the board is easily something that Nova Soul should be able to do coming in here. And I believe that's kind of my long shot pick. I believe Nova Soul will probably be at a decent price, um, but probably one of the better betting races for the weekend. Race 9, we have the True North Stakes, a Grade 2 stakes race for 4-year-olds and up. Um, this is a 6.5 furlong sprint for the dirt, and this is where we see Jackie's Warrior. Jackie's Warrior coming out of a Churchill Downs Grade 1 race, and an Oaklawn Park Grade 3 stakes race. Really no issues in the last two starts. Basically was pulled up, or not really pulled up, but slowed down in his last outing. Could be one of the heavier bet horses all day for Friday, and probably going to be a single on most tickets. Um, and good reason for it. I mean, the horse is 14-10 lifetime. Uh, really hasn't done much wrong except in the Breeders' Cup Sprint, where it kind of got a little bit, I guess, outdueled there into the stretch and was beaten by Aloha West. Um, for the deeper tickets, if you want to use another pick in this race instead of singling Jackie's Warrior, I'm going to go with Baby Yoda. Um, really like the last two starts. Um, Interesting getting a jockey change going back to Luis Saez instead of Joel Rosario, which Joel's on Jackie's Warrior, of course. Um, but interesting coming back into stakes races. Post some decent speed figures that could be comparable or close to Jackie's Warrior. Um, and I think the gate break for Luis Saez is going to be huge for this horse. It can't really go to the back and hope Jackie's Warrior runs slow. I think it needs to be a horse that's either going to contend or press Jackie's Warrior for the pace, and then try to make some type of move coming out of the turn. Only really using two horses in here. One on the outside, Sound Money, is interesting with Chad Brown and Arad Ortiz. Winner last time out in the Westchester Grade 3 at Belmont, so it has that Belmont familiarity. Or second last time out in Belmont, sorry about that. Behind Cody's Wish, does get Arad Ortiz aboard, so that's an upgrade for this horse. One that could easily make the gate break and press Jackie's Warrior for the lead, or sit right behind Jackie's Warrior. Another that could have the speed for contention. Race 10, we have the New York Stakes, a grade 1 mile and a quarter going on the inner turf. Any of these turf races for Friday seem to be the better betting races. However, this one with Bleecker Street as the undefeated gray 4-year-old filly at 6-6 lifetime seems to be another sure bet winner. Looking back, it's done nothing wrong. Grade 3 stakes win, grade 2 stakes win, grade 3 stakes win back at Tampa. The only real concern, I guess, is it's never ran at Belmont. Does get a jockey change with Irad Ortiz coming in instead of Flavion Pratt or Hector Diaz. So those are a few interesting points for Bleecker Street. However, I still don't see her having much to worry about coming in here. My second pick is interesting, going with Virginia Joy. Not really a European shipper, but a horse that was bred over there. Winner last time out at Belmont, um, on the Belmont turf in the Grade 2 stakes race back in May. Beat out some of the other company that's coming into this race. Was a heavy favorite in that race. Posted a decent speed figure of 103. Little bit off of what Bleecker Street has been running. So definitely interesting here. And then third pick, I'm going with Rogier. Won the Begay Grade 3 stakes race at Belmont, so has a win at the Belmont track on the turf. Posted a little bit slower speed figure in 92. Likes to come from off the pace, so a hot pace may or may not help this horse. Definitely going to be interesting to see. Interesting enough, where that Flavion Pratt gets off of Bleecker Street to ride Rogier. And my long shot is going to be Family Way. I'm looking at this horse's last 3 starts. Has hit the board in some big Grade 3 stakes races. Was beat out by Virginia Joy. Won the Orchid Grade 3 at Gulfstream and finished second to Warlike Goddess at Keeneland in the Bewitched Grade 3 stakes race. So one that can either sit right off the pace and have the speed to run for contention. Continues with Tyler Gaffalione and Brandon Walsh. Definitely should set up for pace scenario in here. The horse seems to be able to run from the back and close. That's what it did in the Orchid and was able to win. Horse that could sit just off the pace and second, and kind of hold that position. So interesting to see what Tyler does here. I believe he's going to have the outside post. So definitely, if it's a hot pace and the horse could close, definitely going to be a decent price in here at probably 8-1 or 10-1. Race 11, we have the Intercontinental, a Grade 3 stakes race, 6 furlongs on the turf. And this is another great betting race. Going to the far outside with my top pick in Miss J. McKay for Christophe Clement and Joel Rosario. Winner last time out in the license fill at Belmont, with Irad Ortiz aboard. Going 6 furlongs in that race. 15-5 lifetime. Posted a pretty decent speed figure in 106 last time out. So definitely a horse that is a speed factor coming in. Definitely needs a good gate break in this far outside gate. Could set up pretty well. I think she could have decent speed to get out as long as Joel can get her out of the gate and to the front. Second pick, I'm going with Toby's Heart. An interesting horse here with Jose Ortiz for Brian Lynch. Won last time out in the Unbridled at Churchill Down, going 5.5 furlongs. Posting a 90 speed figure coming from the back, closing speed. A horse that could possibly close in here or sit mid pack in here. I think that's kind of where the horse needs to be, kind of mid pack, um, to be able to make a run at some of these early speed horses. Long shot, I'm going with Illegal Smile, winner, 2 times back now. However, they were in allowance races. Going back to stakes race here, first time on graded stakes. Um, has some familiarity with the Belmont turf. Not so well, however, in that race. But has raced with some of the other company in here. I think the horse is in good form recently. Racing at Keeneland, going 5.5 furlongs, so getting a little bit extra here. Kendrick Cartmouche is going to get the mount. I don't see any issues here. I think the horse is in good form, just winning 2 times back. However, they were allowance races, so maybe that horse is familiar with that winning circle, and kind of wants to run up front, and then is in good training for Wesley Ward. Two others to note in here that are kind of cutting back in the distance. These are always interesting things to pay attention to. Flower Point for Jose Lascano, is cutting back from a mile in his past four or her past four starts, um, with a grade 2 last time out in the distaff. So definitely interesting here. Cutting back, kind of a little bit drop in class for Flower Point. The other one, Nevesian Sunrise, also cutting back for Chad Brown and Arad Ortiz. Coming out of an allowance race last time out at Keeneland, going a mile. Um, Finished first in that race, so the cutback might help this horse. Looks to have decent gate speed or getting out of the gate, so one that could easily get out, dictate the tempo, and maybe look to hold on um, from Miss J. McKay or a deep closer in Toby's Heart. So probably going to spread heavy in race 11, just because I feel like any of these turf races at Belmont can be wide open. So definitely going to cover a little bit more on the turf than I would some of the dirt races. So there's the race picks for Friday at Belmont Park for some of the graded stakes races on June 10th. Um, Make sure to click the link down below to get all the races for Friday and wagering suggestions of my top pick and a long shot pick for each race. I will also be adding or throwing on some pick 4 and pick 5 tickets for Friday. And make sure to like the video and subscribe so you can catch the Belmont Stakes card video that I will be doing shortly and releasing with my top pick for the Belmont Stakes Saturday. Thanks for watching, and as always, drink some bourbon and bet the ponies.